Follow-up questions from July 6th at Community of Grace Presbyterian Church. Worship yesterday, we had a miracle. I know you've been in church most of your life. This doesn't happen often, but we had something happen in church on Sunday that it's just a church miracle. And that is that no one complained. People asked without judgment. People questioned with sincerity. They wondered if things were intentional, but no one complained about a song we used. The song is called Chuck Brodsky, Goddamn Blessed Road. Now, the first thing you heard in there was the second part of that. It's worth noting that Chuck Brodsky is Jewish, and he wrote this song with a very respectful Jewish sense. It's G_D, the way that some Orthodox Jews will honor God's name. So there's a bit of honor in this umbrella of that curse word. But it brought to mind a lot of folks' question of cursing and sacredness and worship and hospitality and all of that. So, Kelsey, why did we keep that word, and what does that mean for our church?
Yeah, it's important to remember that there are times when the cries of our broken hearts require us to use strong and expressive language. We can see this in the Bible. We might not read swear words per se in the book of Psalms, but the psalmist does use very expressive and forceful and descriptive language at times to express the cries of their broken hearts. I think it's important to remember that God is not offended by our honesty when we talk about our emotions and express our brokenness. And even if that honesty includes some coarse language, God still isn't offended by it. Now, that doesn't mean that Hanson and I are going to start swearing in the pulpit.
Oh my heck.
Because we also are aware that it is important to be a sanctuary of hospitality and to be aware of the intentionality behind the words that we choose to use in worship, and being aware of when those words might make someone feel uncomfortable or unwelcome in this space.
Now, Kelsey said that there's no swear words in Psalms, but there is a swear word, at least one, in the New Testament. In Philippians, Paul is making this comparison sort of about the things that he's missing out on because he's trying to be so good. He's missing out on fun and sin and excitement. And he says, but you know what? That's all skubalon compared to the power of Christ. Your translation probably takes skubalon and says something like rubbish or dung, or I think the King James says excrement. But really the word has a little zing to it. So the best translation is, this ain't crap compared to the power of God's love in me, the power of God's ability to transform and care for us. So if Paul can do that in the Bible, I think once in a while we have room, even in worship, to acknowledge the reality and the honesty of our hearts to God and together. Amen.